Welcome to Double Entry Bookkeeping Principles. In this preview video you will learn the following: how to record accounting transactions, how to record double entry bookkeeping bank transactions, and how to record bank receipts and bank payments. Double entry bookkeeping is the foundation of most accounting systems. Double entry bookkeeping requires two entries for each transaction. There is a debit entry and a credit entry for each transaction. The two entries are made in separate accounts but are for the same amount. A bank payment for telephone will have two entries in a double entry bookkeeping system. There will be an entry in the bank account and an entry in the telephone account. A bank receipt for rent will have two entries in a double entry bookkeeping system. There will be an entry in the bank account and an entry in the rent received account. In each double entry account there is a debit side and a credit side. Debit is abbreviated to DR and credit is abbreviated to CR. Here we have the telephone account. We have a debit side on the left and a credit side on the right. The double entry account is often referred to as a T account as it is in the shape of the letter T. You need to know how to set up the T accounts and how to enter the details relating to the transactions. At the top of the T account is the name of the account. For our example we shall use the bank account. So at the top of the T account in the middle we write bank account. Next you enter debit or DR at the top left of the T account. Next you enter credit or CR at the top right of the T account. There are three headings on each of the debit side and the credit side of the T account. First we have date, then details, and then amount. Then on the credit side we have date, then details, and then amount. As we said before, for each transaction there are two equal entries. There is a debit entry and a credit entry. The debit entry is always recorded on the left side of one account, and the credit entry is always recorded on the right side of the other account. Here we have the bank T account. Money paid into the bank is always a debit entry in the bank T account. Money paid out of the bank is also a credit entry in the bank T account. A bank payment for telephone will have two entries in a double entry bookkeeping system. Here we have the telephone account and the bank account. There will be an entry in the bank account. The entry in the bank account will be a credit entry and an entry in the telephone account. The entry will be a debit entry in the telephone account. We are now going to look at an example of a telephone payment through the bank account. On the 22nd of July 2017, there was a telephone payment of £250 paid through the bank. As we said before, in the bank account, the money going into the bank account is on the debit side and the money going out of the bank account is on the credit side. In this example, the money is coming out of the bank account so that it will be on the credit side, and the other entry will be on the debit side of the telephone account. The date of the payment was on the 22nd of July 2017 and the amount was £250. So in the bank account on the credit side we have the date, the 22nd of July 2017, the details are telephone, and the amount is £250. In the telephone account on the debit side we have the date, the 22nd of July 2017, details are bank, and the amount is £250. We are now going to look at the bank receipt. A bank receipt for rent will have two entries in a double entry bookkeeping system. There will be an entry in the bank account and an entry in the rent received account. In our example, on the 1st of July 2017, there was a cheque of £900 paid into the bank for rent received. Again, a quick reminder, in the bank account the money in is on the debit side and the money out is on the credit side. The money is going into the bank account, so the entry will be on the debit side of the bank account. Therefore, in the rent received account, the entry will be on the credit side. So a reminder, on the 1st of July 2017, there was a cheque of £900 paid into the bank for rent received. So in the bank account, on the debit side we have the date, the 1st of July 2017. Details are rent received. and the amount is £900. In the rent received account, the entry is on the credit side, so we have the date, the 1st of July 2017, details are bank, and the amount is £900. We will now have a summary of the bank account. On the debit side, we have the 1st of July 2017, rent received £900. And on the credit side, we have the 22nd of July 2017, telephone £250. How do we remember which side the debit and credit entries go on? The method I'm going to show you does not include the bank account entries. So here we have a debit column and a credit column. In the debit column we have D for debit, E for expenses, A for assets, and D for drawings. If we take the first letter from each word, we have D for debit, E for expenses, A for assets, and D for drawings, we get the word dead. Then on the credit side we have C for credit, L for liabilities, I for income, and C for capital. If you take the first letter from each word, we have C for credits, L for liabilities, I for income, and C for capital, and they combine together to give us the word click. So if we can remember the two words dead and click, we can work out what goes on the debit side and what goes down the credit side. Well done for completing this lesson. You now know the basics of double entry bookkeeping. You know how to record accounting transactions. You know how to record double entry bookkeeping bank transactions. And you know how to record bank receipts and bank payments. If you want to improve your accounting and bookkeeping skills and knowledge further, you will find assistance at the link below. https://www.udemy.com/accounting-and-bookkeeping-essential-skills